What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Bluff Guy. Hey, and we are back with another One Piece reaction. Today we will be reacting to One Piece One Piece chapter 1091, Sentomaru. All right, man. So I'm a little nervous on this chapter, man. Like I didn't really get any. I didn't get spoiled on it. Like, I didn't see any spoilers, but based on some of the thumbnails I've seen of people who've done reactions to this, it might not be looking too good for Kizaru, and I don't know if I like that. Y'all know me; I've been hyping my man's up, so this might be this chapter might either build or break everything I've built up Kizaru to be in my head, and like a lot of the mess I've been talking. So it could do that. I don't know. I don't know. We are talking Gear Fifth Luffy, so I don't know if I'll put that a knock against Kizaru. If let's say the worst happened and he gets into a scuffle with Monkey D. Luffy and he takes a big L. This is Gear Fifth, right? The same Gear Fifth that beat Kaido, even though there was a lot of factors in that. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into this chapter. Again, this is One Piece chapter 1091, Sentomaru. Let's go. So we got this weekly Shonen Jump page where we got the Straw Hats. We got Luffy in the front, Usopp on Chopper's back, riding him like a horse. Pause, pause. But he's in the back, and then there's like a leopard. I want to say it's a leopard. It's like right behind Luffy. Now, does that have anything to do with Lucci? You know what I'm saying? Is that connected with Luffy or not Luffy? Rob Lucci? I don't know. But it is definitely a leopard. It's like it's chasing after Monkey D. Luffy, and Usopp and Chopper are behind the leopard. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And then next we got this double page spread. All right, so it's like the Straw Hats, they all eating what looks to be pizza. It's pizza because you see a pizza in the back getting being cooked. We see some flamingos. That connection with not crocodile, Doflamingo, right? Like, hey, the Shonen Jump page. We got a leopard, could be connected with Rob Lucci, and then this double page spread, we got these flamingos, which could be connected with Doflamingo. But we don't know. But they're all eating this pizza. There's some mouse cutting the pizza. Brook and Chopper in the back. Chopper eating pizza, Brook drinking coffee, Jinbei and Sanji both making pizza, while Nami, Zoro, Usopp, and Luffy and these two flamingos are actually eating the pizza. Let me find out Jinbei got some cooking skills. Let me find out. So we got One Piece chapter 1091, Sentomaru. I hope Kizaru ain't losing to Sentomaru. Come on now, Oda, you do this. If Kizaru loses the Sentomaru, I might quit. I might quit the series, bro. You can't do this to me, Oda. Don't you do this BS to me. I don't think that's gonna happen though. But the fact that the chapter's named Sentomaru, you never know. You never know. Someone says Admiral Kizaru has begun his incursion. Says the Navy makes its move, and then they say, "Get ready. The enemy won't take this line down." So we see all these Marine ships outside off the coast of Egghead Island. and it's and we see those PX3s attacking the Marines. They say beep beep, so it's like they're locking in on the Marines. The Marine says, "Don't let them use their lasers. Fire the cannons." So we got the ships firing cannons onto the island. And it looks like the Marine ships might be taking damage because we see Marines saying "ooh ah," like their ship just got hit. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so it was those sea beasts. It was the sea beasts attacking the ships, and one of the Marines said, "It's the weaponized sea beasts. Fire!" We see one of the sea beasts with the ship in its jaws. So yeah, so these are pretty much, I mean they're sea kings, right? They're mechanized sea kings. So they're big enough to just be biting ships and picking them up like nothing. What is that sea beast? He got like a drill on. It's like a mouse with a drill on his nose. That's dope. And then, okay, so one of the Marines, so some of the Marines are actually fighting these sea beasts back. Like they're fighting them back. We got one with a big ass something on his arms, like a mechanical arm, kind of like Zephyr. It looked like it kind of looked like Zephyr, whatever his name is from World War Z. Like how he had that big ass mechanical arm. That's what this guy has. Something similar to that. And he says Steam Knuckle. And he punches one of the sea beasts. So these guys, the Marines got some heavy hitters that's capable of fighting these sea beasts. That's good. Doll. I thought Doll was Doll not with because I see Doll's fighting one of these pacifistas, these Mark III's pacifistas. I thought Doll was with Garp's team. Am I wrong about that? I guess I am wrong about that. There was a different woman with Garp's team. The one who whips, but I didn't know Doll was with Kizaru's team. Okay, okay. And she says, "Leave our ships alone. If it's a fight you want, I'll give you one." So she kicks one of the pacifista Mark IIIs in the face. To be able to do that to a pacifista Mark III, it's kind of impressive. It's pretty impressive. I know it doesn't seem impressive because we see the Straw Hats like manhandle pacifistas relatively easy, but they're the Straw Hats. They're the Straw Hats. They're they're not like a bum team. They're not like a bum crew no more. So they're not a weak bunch. These Mark III pacifistas. It says the vice admirals are touching down. So all the vice admirals are jumping onto the island of Egghead. So it's about to be a full blown battle. We about to get a full blown battle on Egghead. We got the pacifistas and the Seraphim on Egghead and the Straw Hats, the Vegapunks, and then we got the Marines showing up. So it's looking like it's looking like it's growing into a full blown battle. All they gotta do is let the shields down of the stratum, and once they let them down, we gonna get a full on battle. The Straw Hats gonna have to fight, and the Vegapunks might have to fight. But we know that the Straw Hats are planning to escape, so it's gonna be up to the pacifista to pretty much, hold the Marines back, give the Straw Hats enough time escape. So Kizaru got this light speed kick that Sentomaru is about to try to block this one. I don't think so, Sentomaru, bro. That is a light speed kick right there. You know what I'm saying? The force behind that kick, bruh. Come on now. Kizaru says, "You really ought to surrender, Sentomaru-kun." And then he's going for a light, like a laser blast, after sending Sentomaru flying into the wall. Bruh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sentomaru. But to see, anytime I get some Kizaru action, hey, I'm loving it, man. Like, how can y'all not love light abilities? You know, low key light abilities are just some of my favorite types of ability, like types of power, right? Like, it's probably my favorite Logia for sure. You know, like the light Logia, just the potential of it is just ridiculous. Like, I just don't think Oda would ever really fully tap into the potential that like light abilities could go into with Kizaru. Cause if he did, bro, come on now. If he was to fully tap into the potential of light abilities with Kizaru, the Pika Pika no Mi is like easily top 5 ability, like top 5 devil fruits. You know, I would like when I say top 5 devil fruits, I would put up there is like the like Big Mom's devil fruit, maybe Sugar's devil fruit, Foxy's. Foxy has a underrated devil fruit, and it's mostly because it's Foxy using it. But somebody else with Foxy's devil fruit, come on now, come on now. You slowing people down and just beating them up, and you actually got fight. Like Foxy didn't have any fighting skills like that, but he was a little dangerous with it. He was a little dangerous with that ability. You give that devil fruit to somebody like, I don't know, Sanji, Zoro. Come on now. Come on now. They waxing almost anybody. You know what I mean? They waxing almost anybody. But this light devil fruit, bro. Like just imagine, right? Being able to travel at the speed of light, like really. Like I think Oda kind of nerfs Kizaru's light speed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Kizaru's actually going light speed, you know, but just actually think about actually being able to travel at the speed of light. And then think of other stuff you could do with light. You could control how people, you can control people's vision, because everything we see is nothing but light bouncing off of the stuff we see, and it goes into our eyes, and our eyes process it and all that stuff, right? So like you could manipulate how people see color with light. So I'm telling you, it would be hacks. So we see Sentomaru struggling. He's huff, and he's running away, trying to avoid these attacks. And he says, "Sorry, Unc. I gave my word to Straw Hat Luffy." Oh, don't you say that. Don't you bring up Straw Hat Luffy's name to Kizaru. You know Kizaru don't he ain't too fond of Straw Hat Luffy. And so we see Sentomaru's axe like sticking from the ground, and Sentomaru grabs it, and he says, "And since when have you been one to get chumsy with pirates?" asks Kizaru. And Sentomaru like jumps towards, I think he's jumping towards Kizaru with his axe. Yeah. He says, "Huff, huff." So Sentomaru's going, he getting it in with Kizaru, man. I don't know if I like that though. Kizaru need to low diff this guy, bro. Kizaru need to low diff this guy, and I like Sentomaru, but somebody like Kizaru shouldn't be. He shouldn't be anything higher than mid diff and Sentomaru, in my opinion. But again, Sentomaru and Kizaru have a bond, so I low key think Kizaru is somewhat holding back. On top of the fact that Kizaru never really goes all out, so I don't think Kizaru is going all out with Sentomaru. But he does at the same time he does understand that he needs to put Sentomaru down. But I think there's something in him that doesn't want to just like going for the kill. Like I don't think he wants to like damage Sentomaru too badly, but he knows he has to get Sentomaru out of there in order to get to the Straw Hats. All right, so Sentomaru is dashing at Kizaru and it says, "I owe the old man my life. Huff. I don't care whose side I gotta take if it helps him escape." And we see Sentomaru try to swing at Kizaru, but Kizaru's able to pretty much phase through that. I'm assuming Kizaru started phasing before the actual attack got to him, because if Sentomaru infused that attack with Haki, then it should hurt Kizaru. So I would think in order for Kizaru to avoid the Haki infused attack, he would break himself apart or no fade, like do his little phasing that the Logias do when they like pretty much turn themselves into their element in order to avoid an attack. You do that before the attack, because a lot of times we see the attack, especially with someone like Kizaru, where we see like those pirates, those like fodder pirates shoot Kizaru and the bullet just went through. Kizaru wouldn't have had to worry about that bullet because it wasn't infused with Haki. But if it had Haki in it, he would have to avoid the bullet. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's pretty much avoiding. I'm thinking Kizaru is avoiding that attack because we do know that Sentomaru can use Haki. And then Kizaru looks, and I think we're going into a flashback. Someone says, "In this, I thought we were meant to deal with the bear attacks. What happened? Who did this? Some kid beat us to it." So we see Sentomaru beating up some bears, like a young Sentomaru. Sentomaru looks exactly the same as a kid as he does now, except he's just smaller. All right, we got Kizaru, Vegapunk, and Sentomaru, a little Sentomaru, and Vegapunk says, "The villagers are all wimps. I hate them." Or no, I think it's Sentomaru talking. "The villagers are all wimps. I hate them. I don't even want to go back. They kicked you out, huh?" says Kizaru. And then Sentomaru says, "All I need is a job that pays good. I'm tough, so I don't get hungry or anything." All right, so we're seeing how Kizaru and Vegapunk both met Sentomaru as a kid. So I really want to know more of the nature behind Kizaru and Vegapunk's like friendship or relationship, because we see that Kizaru was with Vegapunk when he met Sentomaru. Now, I'm pretty sure part of the nature of their relationship was that Kizaru was to be like Vegapunk was using Kizaru as like a guinea pig to learn more about Vegapunk or about devil fruits, specifically maybe Logia, and maybe use some of Kizaru's devil fruit powers to integrate into his technology. So I'm pretty sure that was part of the nature, but I will also guess that part of the nature of the relationship was Kizaru was some sort of a bodyguard for Vegapunk. So he was like protecting Vegapunk, while at the same time Vegapunk would study Kizaru's devil fruit powers and everything. That's kind of what I think it was, you know. And Vegapunk says, "Oh, then can I ask what you're looking to buy with all that money?" And Sentomaru says, "Onigiri." Onigiri. I thought that was like I thought that was like one sword style onigiri. So is he trying to buy one sword or one sword maybe? What? I thought onigiri was one sword style. I don't know. And then Kizaru says poof, and someone started laughing. I don't know if that's Vegapunk or Kizaru, but it could be both. And then Kizaru, we cut from the flashback. Kizaru says, "You were so cute back then." We see a little bit of personality from Kizaru. Talk about you were so cute back then, and and then we're kind of like flowing back and forth from a flashback to the present, and Sentomaru says, "In that case, how would you like to be my bodyguard, Squirt?" Oh, Vegapunk said that. Vegapunk says, "In that case, how would you like to be my bodyguard, Squirt?" And Sentomaru says, "You'll really give me a job? Awesome." And we see Sentomaru talking to Kizaru. He says, "Hey, Unc, how am I meant to protect Grandpa Punk? Come teach me." And then Kizaru says, "Don't call me that. I'm still young." How I would think Kizaru was like, I don't know, how old is Kizaru? How old is my dog Kizaru? I gotta look that up. Back in the present, Kizaru says, "I taught you the best I could, Sentomaru-kun." So it's nice we getting a little back and forth with Sentomaru and Kizaru, learning a little bit more about the nature of their relationship. Same with like Sentomaru and Vegapunk. Same with Kizaru and Vegapunk. So it's kind of like we're getting bits and pieces of the nature of the relationship between Kizaru, Vegapunk, and Sentomaru, like the inner relationships between the three of them. So Sentomaru sends Ashigara palm at Kizaru, and he actually manages to hit Kizaru from the looks of it. You know, we see Kizaru's head like swing back, and I don't think that's blood. Is that blood? Kizaru, you better not be letting this man make you bleed, brother. Come on now. And as Sentomaru attacks Kizaru, he says, "That said, my guard isn't anything to sneeze at either now, you know." Or he says, "My guard isn't anything to sneeze at either, you know." And then he pretty much blasts away Sentomaru into the ground. Bruh. I kind of don't like this, man. I feel like Sentomaru is like, Kizaru needs to just like low diff him. But I kind of get it for story purposes. It's kind of to really showcase the relationship. Because if Kizaru just like one hit, like one shot Sentomaru, then we probably wouldn't be able to have a chance to get all this, you know, this flashback and some of the dialogue between the two. So, you know, I guess it's kind of necessary to drag this fight out a little bit, you know, instead of making it a quick fight. So yeah, Sentomaru is getting shot back, and we see a blast coming from the forest off the coast. You know, the Marines are feeling the brunt of the blowback of it, of the blast. So we see Kizaru with a authority chip for the PX Mark threes, and Kizaru says all pacifista units come in. It says the previous commander issuer is unconscious and out of commission. Out of commission. Authority has been transferred to me. There's been a change of plans. Protect the naval fleet and send the weaponized beasts or sea beasts to the ocean floor. So, Kizaru, as somebody with the authority chip, is overriding a command given to somebody by somebody at a higher level. When we seen the Seraphim and they was given a command, it wasn't able to be overridden. Even though the person who gave that command was of equal, on the equal level, right? Because we know that it was York who gave the Seraphim the commands, but I think Lilith or Edison tried to give him a command, but he couldn't. If I remember correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But the order couldn't be overwritten. Now maybe it's because York was still conscious, and the last person who gives the command has to be conscious. Or maybe the PX Mark IIIs work differently. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little confused now. I'm a little confused with how the hierarchy works and how overriding previous commands work. Because I could have swore last time we seen something like this, the one of the Vegapunks couldn't override the previous commands that was given by York, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I get that. I get it if it's somebody with a low on I get being able to override somebody at a lower level than you on the hierarchy, but not somebody of a higher level or equal level. That's just confusing. That's confusing. So, someone says the objective of the Pacifista Squadron has been successfully changed. And we see one of the Pacifista attacking the Sea Beast. So now the Marines have the Pacifista Mark IIIs at their control. So not only do we have Saturn there, who is powerful. We know based off, Sabo being at the Reverie and going into the throne room and almost dying, even though they did jump him, right? But Saturn was there. We know that Saturn has some ability and can fight, right? So we know that Saturn isn't necessarily weak. We don't know how strong he is just yet, but he's capable. He's capable. Not only is he there, Kizaru is there, Admiral. We know how strong. We know admirals are pretty strong. We have a bunch of vice admirals there as well as just some normal fighter marines. The Seraphim, even though the Seraphim are currently on the Straw Hat side, if Saturn gives those Seraphim a command, then they will switch sides because Saturn is at the top of the Seraphim hierarchy. So, again, this ain't looking too good for the Straw Hats and the allies. It's not looking too good. I'm just saying. Saturn says, "What a waste. But I suppose if I had to choose, the Pacifista are the better assets to secure. Keep me updated on all the casualties incurred." And someone says, "Yes, sir." All right, so the person who was talking about the pacifistas being changed, he was informing all this to Saturn in the ship. I'm curious, is Saturn going to make a move though? Like that's what I want to know. I want to know, is Saturn, are we going to see Saturn do some things? So Usopp's looking at the monitor. He says, Sentomaru's finished. And Stella Vegapunk says, nah. And he's crying. He's bawling his eyes out. He says, we can't afford to dilly-dally. Let's lift the defense system. And Atlas says, yeah. We won't let the time he bought us go to waste. And York laying on the ground, she says, you won't crack it. Don't forget, I'm a Vegapunk too. And we cut the Kizaru looking up, and he says, focus. Kizaru is made of light. He could be passing through the laser barrier any minute now. So he still hasn't passed through the laser barrier. He's just on a lower level. Usopp says, wait, what you mean he can get in whenever he wants? And then Vegapunk says, indeed. And he says, that guy almost wiped us out back in the day, you know. And then Kizaru says, my, the Straw Hat Pirates. How nostalgic. And then we just see a flash. So we see like a line going to the sky. A line of light going into the sky. I guess he goes through the shield. It says, we see and it's phasing. It says, let's book it. Once the barrier is down, we need to be ready to get out of here. Pronto. Lilith is carrying, she's in that Vega Force 1 mech carrying the ship, and she says, way ahead of you. All we need to do is carry the ship over to the back of the island. Let's make it happen. We see Luffy and Joribani and Frankie. Luffy and Joribani eating, and Luffy says, Frankie says, Lilith, what's that racket? Because we hear a ding, 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 ding. And Lilith says, the emergency siren. But why? No one should be able to get through the barrier. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Kizaru, we see, has made it through the barrier. He says, the power station, Punk Records, and York. Those are the three things that can't become collateral. Honestly, it would be nice if I could add old friends to that list. Unfortunately, though, and we hear the ding, 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 ding. So he can't destroy Punk Records. He can't destroy the power station, and he can't destroy York, or he can't allow anything bad to happen to York. Sentomaru is pretty much knocked out. He's out of the game. And Kizaru says, Dr. Vegapunk's elimination is our top priority. So he's not worried about the Straw Hats? Okay. All right, Kizaru. They say Kizaru has infiltrated the dome. Gaia! Usopp says, Luffy and the others are still making their way back. Hurry, Luffy, says Nami. And then Brooke says, Luffy-san, this isn't looking good. And then Vegapunk, Stella says, it'd be pointless to lift the barrier if the ship isn't in position. Not really. I mean, Kizaru's pretty much already there. Oh, boy. Stussy looks to the right, and we see the little bird, the little pigeon, what's his name? Hitori. We see Hitori flying. He says, cuckoo. And then Rob Lucci makes his move towards Stella Vegapunk. Oh, boy. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. That is no bueno. Why do they got Rob Lucci just freely sitting about? All your heavy hitters are out of the lab, but yet you got Rob Lucci in the lab sitting about with no one to keep this man in check. There is nobody to keep Rob Lucci and Kaku in check. I mean, the Stussy is there, we see, obviously, but Stussy's like, Stussy, when she beat Rob Lucci and Kaku, that was kind of like, she caught them off guard, right? Like, they wasn't expecting that. Now they know Stussy. They know Stussy's a traitor. So is Stussy strong enough to take on both Rob Lucci and Kaku by herself in order to protect the other Straw Hats as well as the Vegapunks? We about to see. So Rob Lucci goes in for a finger pistol on Vegapunk, but Stussy intercepts and she pretty much takes the attack head on. We see Stussy bleeding out her mouth, and Rob Lucci has blood on his finger. And now Vegapunk just realized what happened, and he's caught, and he's horrified as Stussy falls to the ground, and he says, Stussy-chan. And also, Sanji is there. Okay, Sanji is there. We see Sanji there. Sanji says, sorry, Nami-san. Sorry, Nami-san, I'm borrowing this. And he grabs the little gun on Nami's hip. Like, Nami had like a gun. And he like he like shoots, he like puts Kaku in that bubble so Kaku can't do nothing. That's smart. I like that. Get him out of the game before he could act, right? Get him out of the game before he can even act. He says, what? The bubble gun? And then Sanji says, seems your friend let you out of the loop. And Kaku says, huh? Zoro goes to attack Rob Lucci with his swords. And Rob Lucci coats his leg in armament hockey in order to block the attack. I thought Zoro was outside. Where did Zoro come from? Zoro was in the lab this whole time. I thought Zoro went outside with Luffy, Jory Bonnie, and Lilith. I must be wrong. You know what? Nah, he didn't, because it was just them three that went out. I thought Zoro was with them for some reason. I guess I'm wrong. I might have to look at the old chapters. I'm gonna have to look at the old chapters, because I thought Zoro left. But he says, looks like you waited for backup to grow a spine. Zoro called, he like, hey man, now you get brave. Now you get brave now that Kizaru's here. And Rob Lucci says, you're all as good as dead. Now that Kizaru and I are working together, he says, you should know by now not to underestimate us. I don't know. I don't know about that, Lucci. I don't know if Kizaru came to help y'all. You know, because we got to remember earlier in this chapter, what did Kizaru say? I got to make sure I protect the powers, the power source or whatever, the power supply, the punk records, and York. Those are the only things Kizaru was worried about protecting. I don't think Kizaru's worried about you, Rob Lucci. I really don't. Just saying. I really don't. But we gonna see. We gonna see. And Zoro says, you should know by now not to underestimate us. And we see Zoro sending Rob Lucci outside of the lab. And then We see Kizaru behind the Vega Force One, watching it run off, and Kizaru says, "I was wondering where their ship got to when I didn't see it at the shore." And they say, "Hurry." He says, "They sit in Admiral Luffy. What should we do?" Say, "Hey, Luffy." And then it says One Piece chapter 1091 end. Break next week. Another break. It's like, bro, maybe because we're getting so much stuff. It's like one chapter, because each chapter we've been getting has been packed with stuff. It's been like low key. I don't even mind some of these breaks, because it's like each chapter themselves have been packed with so much that they give you so much to like think about. But it sucks that we're getting a break, though. It does suck that we're getting a break. It's like now we're getting like one chapter, then a break, then a chapter, then a break. But we are having a break next week. And but the chapter is not fully over, because Kizaru is looking, he says, and we see someone's feet. And he says, "Hey, long time no see," says Kizaru. And then it's Monkey D. Luffy going in for the attack while Kizaru is blocking it. And we see Haki surging from this attack. And Kizaru says, "I see that. You're as cheeky as ever." And Luffy says, "We're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago, Kizaru." It says, "Engaging an admiral." Man, that's a great chapter. I was expecting the worst. I thought Kizaru was going to get defeated this chapter, based on some people's thumbnails that you see on YouTube. But that's why I'm glad, because sometimes them thumbnails are misleading, but it wasn't a spoiler, because I seen a Brago D Ace, his reaction to the chapter, and the thumbnail had like Luffy standing over like a defeated Kizaru. So I'm like, oh man, don't tell me Kizaru lost this chapter, and it was like just one chapter and he loses. Like one chapter and Kizaru loses. And I was a little scared, And don't get me wrong, I don't think Kizaru can beat Luffy. At this point, I don't think many people can beat Luffy. I don't think Luffy's getting low diff or mid diff by anybody at this point, right? The only people I think, if there's anybody who can mid diff Luffy, maybe even low diff Luffy, might be Eam at like now, like currently right now. That's probably the only person who could like just maybe. We don't know how strong or how weak Luffy is, but that's the only person that I would guess would be capable. Maybe the Gorosei as well. You know what I mean? I'm just talking low diffing here. The only person I think could low diff Luffy would be maybe Eam. You know what I mean? And maybe if the Gorosei are strong, maybe them as well. Anybody else, even like Shanks, any Yonko, Admiral, if they are still stronger than Luffy, it's gonna be a mid to high diff. I don't even know if any character is mid diff in Luffy at this point. I think it's gonna be a high diff. If Shanks is still stronger than Luffy, it's gonna be high diff. If Blackbeard is stronger than Luffy, which I don't think, high diff. I don't think Luffy is getting low or mid diff by anybody. Maybe Eam. Eam probably mid diff. Possibly low diff. We don't know though, so that's just kind of me just saying. If there is anybody that could low diff Luffy at this point, it would probably be Eam. But even then, I think that would still be a mid diff. I don't think I don't think nobody's low diffing Luffy. You know what I mean? But at this point, I think Luffy is going to be a high diff for any fight he comes across in a fight. So, but I'm glad I'm glad we didn't get like a full on fight where it's like Kizaru just got low diffed or. That's what I was scared of. I was scared of Kizaru getting low diffed. I was. Kizaru can't get low diff. I'm gonna be pissed. Oda, if you low diff Kizaru, I might give up on this series. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Even mid diff, I might get upset if he get mid diff. If he get mid diff, I'm gonna be upset. So I don't think Kizaru is gonna beat Luffy, but I just don't want Kizaru to just get like ran through. You know what I mean? I want somewhat of a fight. Kizaru was talking hella spicy when he was like early Wano, when he was like, "Hey, you want me to go check this out? You want me to go handle this?" When we learned that Big Mom and Kaido formed the alliance, Kizaru was the one like, "Look, I could go handle this by myself. I'm willing to go." But that right there showed that. Look, I'm not saying Kizaru is beating Kaido or Big Mom individually, let alone 1-on-2, let alone soloing both of them. I'm not saying that, but Kizaru's cockiness tells me that Kizaru is at least strong enough to have a fairly good fight with either of them. You know what I mean? Individually. You know what I mean? Like a mid to high diff fight against either of them. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm hoping that this fight is a very like a tough fight that just doesn't get resolved because Luffy has to escape, and then it kind of builds on the idea that they're constantly escaping from Kizaru, right? So you know, I hope it doesn't get resolved. I don't want Kizaru to get like defeated right now and then we never see Kizaru again. You know, I have my own speculation about Kizaru that I want to see come to light, but even though that's fan canon as well, but you know, I just don't want my theory to be wrong. But yeah, so been a good chapter right here. You know, we're about to see Kizaru fight Luffy. We got Kizaru pretty much low diff in Sentomaru. I'm calling that a low diff because Sentomaru didn't really do much of anything. You know, it's like Kizaru was. I don't think Kizaru was going fully all out with Sentomaru. I think Kizaru didn't. He had his reservations about like finishing off Sentomaru, so you know something in him was holding back, and I don't think it was his normal trolling self where he just kind of toys with people. I don't think Kizaru wanted to kill him, you know, because he said something about like there's 3 things that I have to ensure that you know is safe and protected, and that's the power supply, Punk Records, and York. And he says, but I wish there was others. Like I wish there was other things that I could protect as well. Kind of implying like he didn't want to end Sentomaru, right? So there's that. But now we know Kizaru is ready to fight Luffy, and that's what we should expect next chapter. I'm psyched. Let me know. Are you guys psyched about next chapter? How do y'all think that fight is going to go? Is it going to go mid diff? Is Kizaru getting low diff? Is he getting mid diff? Or is it going to be a high diff fight without it coming to a conclusion, right? Without it coming to a decision, because we know that Luffy and the gang has to escape. So I don't see Luffy wanting to linger around in a long drawn out fight with Kizaru, especially as the Marines start to close in on him and his crew. So I could see Luffy just holding back Kizaru until, you know, the Straw Hats are ready to go, and then he, you know, escapes with them. You know, that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. But we get somewhat of a good fight with him and Kizaru with there not being a decisive victor. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, you guys, let me know what your predictions for next chapter is. Let me know. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Like the video. Comment down below. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Join the Discord as well. All of these will be in the description box down below. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God. I'm out of here. We got a break, but maybe we get a chapter early next week. So we'll see when we get a chapter. See you guys next time for the next One Piece chapter reaction. I'm out of here. Peace.